Today I'm going to be cloning one of the strangest plants in my collection, Lithops. I do apologize because this video was supposed to come out weeks ago, but my laptop died and I got sick, so things happen. But welcome to my first video of 2026. I'm going to split this video into 3 different parts. The first part is going to be what lithops are, and the second part is going to be starting the cloning process, and the third part is going to be what you do once we have everything in vitro. If you already know what lithops are, please feel free to skip to this time to start the cloning process. Lithops are a type of very slow-growing succulents native to southern Africa. They're nicknamed living stones because their small, round, compact appearance allows them to blend into their rocky environment. Each plant consists of only 2 leaves that are mostly made up of water. Their native climate receives an average of 20 inches of rainfall per year. This usually occurs in late spring and fall. I'm not kidding when I say I water these plants maybe 5 times a year. In winter, they shed their old leaves kind of like a snake sheds their skin. And during this process, they will produce 1 to 2 sets of leaves, meaning you can only really propagate these plants once a year, unless you pollinate them and get a seed pod. Which leads me to why I want to tissue culture these plants. Tissue culture is the process of using plant tissue and a variety of aseptic techniques and synthetic growth hormones to clone the plant tissue you have. So I'm going to use seeds as my explants to grow multiple plants from 1 seed. I have a few other videos about tissue culture that goes more in depth to what it is, so I'll link those in the description. So my 2 goals are to propagate them more than once a year and to hopefully speed up their growing process. So let's jump into the cloning. The materials I'm using are sterile syringes, microcentrifuge tubes and a holder, distilled water and sterile distilled water, dish soap, 50 milliliters of household bleach, 70% isopropyl alcohol, and tissue culture media. I'll put the contents of the media on screen. And of course, we need seeds, and I got mine from Seed Geeks on Etsy. To start sterilizing my seeds, I split them into roughly 2 groups of 25 and put them into microcentrifuge tubes. I fill them with water mixed with a tiny drop of dish soap and leave them in this for a half hour. And I agitate the mixture every few minutes. Then I remove the water after 30 minutes and rinse them in just plain water to remove soap residue. I then fill the tubes with 70% alcohol for 30 seconds before removing it and adding the bleach. This is 250 milliliters of distilled water with the 50 milliliters of household bleach. After draining the bleach with a sterile syringe, I fill the tubes with sterile distilled water and repeat this process 3 times to rinse the seeds. The first rinse is 30 seconds and the last 2 are for 2 minutes each. I then take a cup of media and dump the whole tube, distilled water and all, onto the media, and repeat this process for the second tube. I wrap the outside of the culture with saran wrap as one extra precaution against contaminants, and then I set it on my grow shelf. These sprouted in less than a month, surprisingly, and it's so cool to see the deep root systems of these plants. And after a month or so, I start to see two kinds of growth happening. These normal looking seedlings and this weird clumpy booger looking thing. And this weird clump is actually what we want. And in the final part, we will be manipulating these cells to produce more shoots with synthetic growth hormones. The materials I use for multiplication are 2 sets of sterile tweezers, a sterile jar with bleach, and our new media. And two things are different about this new media. The first is I have these patches on the top. If you noticed, some of my cultures almost look transparent, which is not a good thing. This is a sign of hyperhydricity, so I drilled some holes and put micropore patches over them to allow airflow without contaminating the cultures. The second thing is I altered this media slightly. This media has no NAA because this is the hormone that caused the callus growth, and we no longer need that. BAP is what causes shoot growth, but slow and steady wins the race, so we only need a small amount. I opened the culture and the new media and used sterile tweezers to remove the lithops and place them onto new media. I'm also trying to put similar sized ones together. In a few weeks, these pieces of callus should have new plants forming that we can separate and create more cultures or grow into their own plants. So check back in February or March for an update video where I'm going to show you how to extract the new shoots and put them onto their own media. Thank you so much for watching. Here's a sneak peek into next week's video about pinguicula care. And I hope to see you there.